Welcome, 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 welcome. It's Friday. It's Saturday. All best basketball in my head and my mind. I'm tired, but I'm rejuvenated because we're talking basketball on this edition of Let's Talk Houston Rockets, sponsored by Byron Riley, CPA. Rockets, got to give them credit. They didn't quit. They fought, but they came up with a loss. Still 122, 113 to the Hawks in the ATL. I'm curious as to your thoughts on tonight's game. Some firsts, season highs, but in the end, it's still a loss. So, what are you taking away from this game? Alpin Shingun did not play because of lower back tightness. So, that adds to Fred Van Vliet, of course, was out. Tarison, of course, was out. So, what are your thoughts on how everybody else did that? With the Rockets, 9. Nate Williams got some run, got some points. Jock Landale got 9 rebounds. Jalen Green got a triple double. Jabari Smith had 5 block shots. So, what's your takeaway from this game? Because, yes, it's still a loss. The Rockets have lost 4 in a row. They are now 23 and 29. If the Suns lose to the Warriors will be up 3 games on the Rockets for the play-in spot. Utah, Suns, Rockets. Rockets will be 3 games behind the Warriors if the Warriors beat the Suns tonight. 23 and 29. 4 straight losses. Got the Knicks on Monday. Knicks are battling injuries. Lost, gave up a lot of points in their loss tonight to the Pacers. So could be 2 banged up teams squaring off on Monday. But what are your thoughts on tonight's game? Friday night's loss in Toronto. Solo said at least Jalen had a triple double. Welcome, Justin. I'm still waiting for the NBA.com to load the final book. There we go. That's why I started late. I kept waiting on the final book to be, the game book to be posted. Jalen Green, 26 points, career high 14 rebounds, 10 assists for his first NBA triple double, but he also had 5 turnovers. Uncle Jeff scored 19 points, 6 rebounds. He also had 5 turnovers. Amen Thompson was just hustling all over the place. 12 points, 11 boards, 3 assists. Aaron Holiday, revenge game, I guess, for Aaron. 18 points tonight, 7 for 10 from the floor. But Dylan Brooks, a man scored 14. He was 5 for 19 from the floor, including 2 for 10 from 3. DB and Jalen Green combined to go 4 for 19 from 3. So, Jamon, welcome, welcome, welcome. We are shorthanded, but need to see more from Jalen and Jabari. Steven, no worries about it. I'm trying to watch college and the Rockets. Going back and forth with all kinds of hoops tonight, so it's good. But yeah, Dylan Brooks 2 for 10 from 3, Jalen 2 for 9. As Justin says, overall teams 13 for 43 from 3. But 2 guys went combined for 4 for 19. But like I said, Jock Landale, 9 rebounds. He seemed healthy, active, had some moments, some positivity, some positive production. Jabari didn't shoot well, 4 for 15, 1 for 7 from 3, but he had 10 boards. Oh, the final box, they took a block shot away from him because the final box just has him for 4 now. During the broadcast, said he had 5. But Rockets, like I said, lost 4 straight. They're now 23 and 29. And Justin, I'm going to put this back up. because the last part of his statement, as Craig Ackerman said during the broadcast, said it a couple times, Reggie Bullock quietly was shooting 42% from three this season. 1 for 3 from three tonight. But Dylan Brooks took 10 of them, made 2. Jalen took 9 threes, made 2. Jawar took 7, made 1. So Rockets had 17 team turnovers. Hawks scored 15 points off of those. Hawks had 11 team turnovers. Rockets scored 18 points off those 11 Hawks turnovers. Hawks are now 24-29. Rockets 23-29. But I'm curious, what are y'all thinking now? 6 games under 500, maybe 3 games behind the 10th spot for the play-in. Is the play-in becoming out of reach for the Rockets? Is it a question of just getting everybody healthy again and making that push for the play-in? Or is it lack of shooting? Everything's starting to pile up on the Rockets, and they're not going to have enough in the tank to get it done to make the play-in. Justin says, I'm in learning, but we see what the team is like without Fred. Yep. Agreed. That is an issue. It is a concern, the turnovers. Fred, let's go back. Let me go back to Friday night. Now, we know now, based on what Coach said earlier Saturday, he didn't say it last night in postgame when Jonathan Fagan asked him about why Jalen and Alpi did not play in the fourth quarter. What were your thoughts Friday night, going backwards, Friday night, when Jalen Green and Alpi did not play in the fourth quarter? Were you upset? Did you agree with it? Did you understand it? Were you okay with it? Now we know Alpi was possibly dealing with lower back stiffness last night, but the effort wasn't there. Production wasn't there. Jakob Poeltl was rolling last night. But initially, what was your initial reaction when you noticed, saw, realized that Jalen and Alpi did not play in the fourth quarter Friday against the Raptors? Terry, thank you for chiming in as always. Every time Terry chimes in, cheers to you, Terry, and anybody else enjoying an adult beverage, getting yourself ready for the big game in football. Justin, I've said this for a few times. They haven't announced it. Well, apparently, he's close. Tari is close to returning, but heck, you got 2 games before their All-Star break. Why bring him back before the break? But the injury, definitely, they never said it publicly. I think that stress reaction became a stress fracture, and that's why he hasn't played in so long. But supposedly, he's getting close to returning to action. We shall see. Time will tell. Derek, how are you? Asleep, Art? Can't afford to have one guy out, much less half rotation players. Derek, tough game this week. We need better shots and get better on defense. Next game against the new and improved Knicks. Well, Knicks are dealing with injuries themselves. So we'll see what they do, how they look on Monday. Here's one. No play-in playoffs if you don't have shooters in this modern NBA season, as the Rocket season is done. No play-in for the Rockets this season. Terry says regarding Friday night, Alp was playing soft. Jalen was hungover from his birthday. Justin says, I'm good with a coach that makes adjustments. If Alp and Green aren't rolling, then don't force the issue. Jalen did that a lot, over penetrating too far in the paint. Not knowing where to do with the ball. Turnovers. Bismack Biyombo, yep. He signed. So there goes that option for the Rockets. For a big man perspective. So Friday, Jalen was professional today. Better production. He did not dwell or pout when not playing the fourth quarter Friday. He came back with his first career triple-double Saturday. 26 points, career high 14 rebounds, 10 assists. That's a positive. Let me see, free throw attempts. He didn't miss 3 free throws too. He was 4 for 7 from the line. The Rockets overall missed 7 free throws. Uncle Jeff missed 2, going 3 for 5. Rockets were 12 for 19 from the line. Nate Williams was 0 for 2. 8 points in 8 minutes for Nate Williams. Also 3 fouls. Tonight, Cam Whitmore out, sprained ankle. It's not believed to be too serious. But, the injuries, looking at the inactives on the box report. Obviously, Steven Adams out for the year. Tari Eason still listed as left lower leg injury management. Şengün lower back pain. Fred left adductor strain. And Cam right ankle sprain. But the Rockets did what they could with what they had. Didn't shoot the ball well, though. He said 40 wins is no chance. I said 36. It's getting closer and closer to me being right there and you being wrong. We'll see. Even though New York is dealing with injuries themselves, I'll still pick the Knicks to win on Monday. And that'd be 7 games under 500 for the Rockets. We'll see. Well, we shall see. What do I think about Justin's comment right here? We see what happens when you have a coach that doesn't make adjustments. You have coaches like Doc and D'Antoni in playoff purgatory with the same results. Mike, how you doing, man? Does anyone remember what stop the ball means? There were some strolls to the hoop both sides tonight. Aaron Holiday had a nice jam. Jalen couldn't hold the ball last night. Too many turnovers. Today shows Udoka made the right call. Had a great game tonight. You still have 5 turnovers, though, but more assists, more rebounds. Couple drives, he got walled up and lost the ball, looking for a foul. Draymond asks, is Stone on the hot seat if the Rockets don't make the play-in? No. What do y'all think? I say no. What do y'all think? I mean, this is the early part of phase 2. The Rockets have already improved with the wins. Injuries are starting to take a toll, starting to pile up. So I don't believe he'd be on the hot seat if they don't make the play-in. But what do y'all say? Terry said, okay, 2 things. Thank you for the score update. Appreciate that. 84-82 Warriors over the Suns. Mike Will, too much hero ball in crucial situations, which leads to this comment from Terry. This looks like Silas's offense. J-Mon, what do you say to this? To Justin's comment? I don't think Stone is on the hot seat. Just want to see an improvement. We can't expect the Rockets to be like the Texans. I mean, you can expect it, but I don't think it's realistic. They have improved. That's step 1. They have improved. They've surpassed last season's wins total. J-Mon, I think J-Mon, You are consistent, and I respect it. You've been consistent from this vantage point for months, going back to the summer. Draymond thinks he should be let go or fell. It's the he. If we don't get to 40 wins at least, with all the cap space and recent high draft picks, not achieving 40 wins at least is shameful for a GM. Hmm. Oh. I still disagree with you on Jamon. You still having that viewpoint, and I'm still disagreeing. I respect it. Improvement this season, and I mean, there's a chance they could get to 40 wins and still miss the play-in. How about that? What in that scenario? What if the Rockets do reach 40 wins and the Warriors and Utah still finish ahead of them with 42, 43, 44 wins? I'm not for Klay Thompson. I mean, he'd help 3-point shooting. I say no. But what do y'all think about that? Oops. Justin says we got hung up on the NBA press conference when he said he never missed the playoffs. Well, my guy, you might miss it this season. Yeah. Well, we know Bob Myers, Patrick. We know he's available. Yeah, probably for the right price. Yeah. Asleep Art says successful season with 40 wins. Okay. All right. Jamon says if we get to 40 wins but miss play-in, I'm for keeping Stone. 40 wins is my bar for a successful phase 2. We got one person says, yay, sign Klay or get Klay, acquire Klay. Whose minutes do y'all want Klay to take? Serious question. Not being flippant. Because now we're getting to you sign the vets. What vets do you sign? I think Coach Udoka come off season would want or does want impact veterans, and that vet might take minutes from the young core 6. Terry says easily Tate's minutes, but even Terry. If the Rockets are healthy again, Jay Sean not playing. So in that scenario, if he takes Jay Sean minutes, if the Rockets are healthy, then Klay wouldn't be playing. Justin says next season, though, there are no excuses. It's make or break for Green and Stone on that hot seat. Solo asks, Klay is kind of washed up, though. I think he is, especially for the money he's probably going to look for this summer. We need shooters, not bricks on this team. Mike Will, missed you on Thursday, Mike. We talked about it, kicked it around about the Rockets being quiet on the trade deadline day. And I like playing this sound clip. Played it a few times on Thursday because this is what the Rockets did on Thursday on deadline day. So Mike says with all the injuries, that's why you use the trade deadline. Well, have y'all given up on the season? 23, 29, 30 games. Wow. 30 games left in the season already. 30 games to go. If they lose Monday, 7 games under 500, I doubt, but you never know because it'd be a road game, last game before the break. Some teams, some players kind of check out mentally. We'll see what happens. I agree, man. Solo, yeah, this season's flying by. It is. This season's flying by. It's going by really fast. Uh, United says season's over for him. Terry says Holiday's playing solid now for us. Might be I don't know about that now. Next year with a man and Cam, Tara and Adam. Jamon thinking differently with Terry. So things are getting bad. Terry's getting close to calling the season with all the injuries. Jamon says, I didn't give up on the season. Stone did by not making a move to plug some holes on the roster before the trade deadline. WK was, yep, I was going to say that. Time flies when you have a reason to watch the games. Yeah. Solo, hopefully after All-Star break, everyone is healthy. I think, Steve, we touched on this Thursday a little bit. Some fans are in that camp. Can we all agree Udoka has some questionable lineups? Yeah, but part of me says he puts out there what he has, who he has. He didn't assemble the roster. Rafael gave him a roster with not great 3-point shooters. Not a great, well, nearly all of us expected more from Jock Landale. Jock has battled injuries almost, what was it? The FIBA stuff, World Cup stuff was in August, since he basically broke his ankle, basically. Has been healthy, concussion issues. So his productivity has been poor till this month. Maybe he's healthy. Maybe he can provide more these last 30 games. But clearly, he hasn't lived up to expectations that a lot of us had for him prior to the injury. Let's see. Justin, I'll tell you what, Cam is an instant bucket. There is no shot he doesn't like. Yeah. Mike Will, they have a chance to sneak the Knicks. Yeah. Yeah. Here's my play 7-man rotation. Yeah. Yeah. Agreed there. See, Stephen, what do you think about this comment? Terry says it, and I'm more along this line. I think Udoka can only play what's available to him. Jamon, people start to call lineups questionable when the roster lacks talented players. Tate, okay, there you go. That's an example. Tate and Amin should never be on the court together. Wow. He's not fond of Udoka's rotations. Justin, I always thought, how do people with no basketball background be a GM and assemble teams? He was a lawyer, but he played basketball. His dad was I want to say a pro player as well. Rafael played in college, had experience. I mean, he isn't a lawyer, but he's been with the Rockets organization for years. So he does have hoop knowledge. Tate would be a solid player in a lineup with good shooters. Solo, I guess Stone is banking on a star wanting out to trade for. Right now, this is legit, I think, but I think Steven's being more, even when the Rockets are healthy. Not sure you can hold Udoka accountable for lineups when 30% of the team is injured. I also think he's emphasizing defense, which influences lineups to set culture. Uh, hmm. Does anybody else feel this way? J-Mon right here. Is it just me or does Stone not give many interviews? I don't say he's hiding from the media. Part of it, he really doesn't want to talk about the how Boston ended, his time in Boston ended. Doesn't want to touch on that. So he did the interview with who's Mark Spears with Anscape. So he doesn't hasn't done a lot of interviews. I think people would probably request more if the Rockets were still winning. Y'all tell me about this. I don't keep up with the Vipers. Full disclosure. Mike Will asking, I thought we had a player, I believe Myers in the Vipers, that is a sharpshooter. Stone and Casario are behind the scenes guys. Solo says, when I watched the 2022 Celtics, they would do a lot of driving kicks on offense. That's what he would like to see here. WK, I don't want to regularly hear from my team GM. If you do that, generally is a bad thing. Yeah, I don't want to see. I was confusing people names, but yeah, I don't want to Rafael to do many interviews. Yeah, I mean, talk to me when you make a trade. What else is there to talk about? Honestly, why? Yeah, I mean, really, why else do you want the GM to talk? Talk on draft night, up to the draft. We make a trade, coaching change. That's it. Why else do you need to talk to media? uh, I'm. How should I phrase this? I'm good with Marcus and Quentin Grimes and Marcus now teammates again. Quentin Grimes, I kind of called it, predicted it when he got in Tibbs' doghouse in New York that Q would end up with Detroit. I like Quentin Grimes' potential. He can score and he likes to play defense. And once Monty Williams realizes what he has and how to maximize that potential, things could turn around in Detroit. But once he's wasted 2 months of the season because he didn't know what he was doing, what he had. Terry says, I'm in getting that drive and kick. It's our shooters are bad and inconsistent. Jamon does not like Jamon United do not like Rafael Stone. That's clear. And who was going to shoot on a driving kick? The Rockets have no threat from deep. Go back to the box score again tonight. 13 for 43 from three. Dylan Brooks, 2 for 10. Jabari, 1 for 7. Jalen Green, 2 for 9. Reggie Bullock, 1 for 3. We know Amin is not a three-point shooter yet, not a three-point threat. He was 0 for 1. Jalen still had a triple-double, 26 points, 14 boards, 10 assists, 5 turnovers, 5 of the team's 17 team turnovers. Uncle Jeff also had 5 turnovers. Uncle Jeff was 4 for 7 from 3. He scored 19 points tonight. Rockets did not quit. They competed. They led 31-19 at the end of the first quarter, but then that second quarter. That second quarter. Rockets in the second quarter, 6 for 22 from the floor. The Hawks also took 22 shots, but the Hawks made 13 of their 22 shots and won the quarter 38-18. Rockets trailed at halftime by 8 after being up 12 at the end of the first quarter. Second quarter, 6 for 22. Rockets had 10 turnovers in the first half, but the Hawks only scored 8 points off of those turnovers. So they didn't capitalize too much on them. Fourth quarter, Rockets from 3. Even though Rockets made a comeback, the Rockets were 2 for 13 from 3 in the fourth quarter. They were 10 for 17 from 2 in the fourth quarter. Different Rockets. That team can hit threes. This team can't. Daryl Morey. Well, my answer to this is a little different. Morey was more transparent. Morey, I mean, heck, media here in town gave Daryl Morey a free pass for a long time. Some media here were the ones who built up, created, and perpetuated the "In Morey we trust" mantra. So Daryl ate that stuff up. Transparency is one thing, but he liked to talk to media because it put the spotlight on him. It's about him. I really don't want my GM to do all that. I don't want my GM to be in the spotlight. I want my GM to assemble a good roster, a balanced roster, and let my coach and players go win. That's me. So yeah, I'm not a fan of Daryl Morey. I've said that on this show since the beginning of these live stream shows. Respect him. Respect him for not holding on to mistakes too long. But I'm not a fan of Daryl Morey. Nope. Justin says, I'm glad Jalen is finding other ways to impact the game and not just scoring. Steven feels like the Rockets went away from Sengun being the offensive focal point from the beginning of the season. The last couple of games, he would take 1 or 2 shots the whole first quarter. Terry says, I'm in. It's going to be dangerous if he can develop a consistent jumper. Next 8 games, you're not counting Memphis in that, though, are you, Solo? That's on Wednesday. Steven, you're who is that? I think Terry was the one on Twitter who made a similar statement, being tired of these Rockets fake comebacks. We need to keep that same energy throughout the whole game, not only when we are losing. Justin says he feels Morey has more skin in the game. Stone is still fairly the new GM. So I don't think the media really seeks Stone. I don't think Stone seeks the media. Morey had confidence, even though he's doing good or bad. Stone just looks confused. Well, that's different. But Rafael, and I'll say this. When Rafael talks to the media, I've seen it. Y'all hear it. I've seen the comments. Rafael does say a lot. Agreed? Well, yeah, well, I don't think, yeah, well, that's a good point. Well, that could be part of it as well. He doesn't want to talk to the media that much. Maybe he does not have the confidence, or he's still learning how to not say all the ums, uhs, and stuff when speaking with the media. Justin's tough on this, man. Tough on you. Justin, you and Rafael are united. Man, a lawyer should be better with the media. Yeah. Depends on the type of law they're practicing. Steven, I heard Morey lie to Pat Bev saying he isn't going to get traded. And he ended up getting traded. Harden is right. He is a liar. Don't forget that either. Folks, I mean, Daryl Morey doesn't have a lot of, has a smaller group of fans in the business and in the league than he used to. Terry says Stone never gives clear answers. Terry, we need a professional head slap on our bench to wake some of these players up. Jamon feels like Fred was the key to unlocking Şengün's game this year. Past the 30-minute mark, so roughly the halfway mark. Got to do this. Once again, salute and thank you to Mr. Byron Riley. CPA, go to that website, ByronRileyCPA.com. Call 832-303-3995 for your tax advice and info and assistance. Once again, call Byron Riley, 832-303-3995. Website, ByronRileyCPA.com. 3 minutes left. Warriors 102, Suns 101. Justin Stone still look confused during interviews. Like I said, he may not be comfortable talking in front of microphones. That could be part of it as well. Maybe he needs to go to communications class, speech class, mass marketing, etc. Something like that. Some folks just aren't comfortable talking in front of cameras, microphones. That could be it also. Terry with this. Morey tricked CP3, hard, mellow, Pat Bev. Salute Terry. Cheers. Click on that shop button if you're watching on YouTube. Get you a mug, a Rockets mug, or a Let's Talk Houston Rockets mug, a Houston Roundball Review mug, T-shirts, caps as well. Surprised the Roundball Review caps haven't taken off more, but still time for that. Steven says he feels like Stone talks a fair good amount during the offseason, but during the season, he's just behind the scenes. And really, that's all I want from a GM. I mean, what other reasons should a GM talk to the media? If not about a coaching change, draft picks, upcoming draft, or trades and media day. What other reason should a GM talk to the media? I think Daryl made a few, I don't know, regular appearances on the local talk shows. He might still do that in Philly. Like I said, Daryl likes that stuff. He lives with that kind of stuff. Rafael's not that kind of person. Rafael is more behind the scenes. I'm okay with that. Oh, for sure. But that's an acquisition. Talking to media, we'll ask him about Steven Adams. So that's part of a trade. But outside of that, why else talk to us? As long as Rafael, J-Mom won't like this because he didn't do anything with it. But as long as Rafael is talking to other GMs around the league and his scouts, domestic and international, that's all I want him to do. That's his job. His job is not to talk to the media. That's my take on it. Way back when, Carol Dawson, CD was more behind the scenes. He talked to media after deals. He talked to us in the hallway and things like that. He'd say hi, and that kind of stuff. But that's away from the cameras and microphones. Rafael does that too. Heck, I think I talked to Rafael more than I talked to Daryl Morey. Ironically. Let's see. And go figure, in a short amount of time. I think the Rockets make the pick there this year. Lottery and a second. You mean make a trade? What do you mean? Yeah, I'm going to say this, Mike Will, if you're still watching. I mentioned this Thursday, and I'm not in favor of it. I mean, let me say that again. But I said it on Thursday. I'll say it again. If you did not see Thursday's show, don't be surprised if the Rockets, how to phrase it, resume trade talks involving Jalen Green this summer in hopes of getting a star. Nearly every quote unquote draft person who does that for a living says this year's class is weak. Yes. A lot of folks Justin, are upset. Some folks are here on in the LTHR community, but a lot of Rocket fans are upset. But who was really available star wise, impact wise? Not a lot of folks. Not as many. Especially for deals to happen by the deadline. It weren't as many as people thought. I agree. I agree with this here. I've said it before. Mikal Bridges is not a star. Agreed. That's my opinion. Buddy Hield, great shooter. Little else. Bojan Bogdanovic and Alec Burks going to the Knicks. Two legit offensive scorers, no question. Both of them defensively are not good whatsoever. And that will be seen in the playoffs. Trust me. Jamon says trying to trade for a star at this point of the rebuild doesn't make sense. OKC is in that position. Rockets got a long way to go. Terry says Gafford made the right decision to go play with Luka. Steven says only thing I'm bothered by is not trading Tate. I was surprised. I mean, I said that almost since September. I thought Jason Tate would be gone by February, and he's still here. He'll be here for the rest of the season, obviously. So I was wrong there. Jamon says the high draft picks Stone made were supposed to be the stars. Justin says you don't trade a 21-year-old in Jalen for Grimes or Bridges or even Zach LaVine. No upside in that. Yeah, Jalen Green was not involved in any deals for Quentin Grimes. As far as I know, that wasn't discussed. But deals like DeJounte Murray, the analogy, the Hawks, DeJounte Murray might be a Hawk for 2 more years. Who knows? Terry says I would have traded Tate for seconds. I think Eco wrote, posted, tweeted, whatever, reported that the Rockets were looking for 3 seconds for Jaysean. Justin, I kept hearing whispers that Denver wanted Tate. Jaysean is a guy that teams like. He's a glue guy. He doesn't need the ball in his hands to help a team win. He defends, doesn't rock the boat. He, cries a lot to the officials, blah, 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 looking for fouls. But in terms of being that person that a coach can rely on, depend on, veteran teams like that. Coaches of teams really trying to go far in the playoffs, they like that kind of guy. So, yeah, there were teams who were interested in Jaysean, but Rockets were asking for what those teams felt was too much. He's still here. WK asks, what would I give up in a trade for Donovan Mitchell? I'm not sure I want Donovan Mitchell on the Rockets. I'm being serious. I mean, to do that, you're gonna have to give up Jalen Green. Donovan Mitchell may see stars, as in wanting to be a star in a bigger city, and doesn't see that as Houston as a destination. Justin with interesting part. I think Tate can be a better PJ Tucker. Obviously, got to be better 3-point shooter and at least be reliable, if better than average from the corner three. Got to develop that. Got to. Terry says Jay Sean more often than not can guard the other team's best player. And yeah, Donovan's not a tall player. He's strong, but he's not a big guard. Not a tall guard, excuse me. He's a strong guard. Steven says, I want to know, where did all this Mikal Bridges hype come from? He's not a bad player, but people act like this dude is top tier all star. Agreed. He's at best the third option on a contending team. Well, who represents him? Let's leave it at that. Just leave it at that. Because it goes into what I said about a lot of the trades, especially involving the star players that we heard in social media on all the platforms. Most of that talk came from agents of those players trying to drum up interest, generate interest to get their players traded somewhere else. It didn't come from the teams. A lot of my colleagues are connected with the agencies, the sports agents, those reps, all that. That's how they get their info, those breaking stories. Most of that stuff we heard prior to the deadline, none of that stuff happened. None of it. Terry says, I'd love to have Brown from Boston or Ant Edwards. Yeah, that's not happening. Jaylen Brown, well, that might happen. Ant-Man come here, not happening. Justin says, Bridges is a good role player, maybe at best a six man, which goes along the line of, third third option on a winning team, championship team. But, trade rumors, kicking stuff around on social media. It's fun to discuss, but take it with a grain of salt. Keep in mind where you saw it, who said it. But believe me, most of that stuff, it's just talk, hype. It's not happening. It is not happening. Thank you, Justin. I believe you are correct. I might be wrong, but look it up, verified. Yeah. I don't believe, no, Mikal is not. I think Miles Bridges is with Rich Paul. I'm not sure who Mikal Bridges is with. Terry said, ask can Whitmore develop into an Anthony Edwards type player? I think Ryan Hollins kicked that around in the game earlier this week. What do y'all think about that? That possibility, that potential. Rockets young core of 6. I'd like to see them keep it for this season for sure. And then if somebody makes you a hell of an offer in the summer off season, go do it. But this Rockets young core, I like it. Is Boban really not able to play 10 to 15 minutes a game? Yeah, he's not. Not maybe one game a week, maybe. But yeah. Good point. Let's be reminded that Cam said his favorite player was Westbrook. Yep. Was right there when he said it in the locker room. Yeah. I know. Cam said, I don't remember the game, but it's a home game. Within the last few weeks, I think. He said he looked up to Russell Westbrook. And because he kind of added something, he said, how do you phrase it? It was almost like he said the good Westbrook or the young Westbrook, something like that. But he said he looked up to Russ. Yep. Jabari shooting has been up and down. Rebounding, the last week or so, it took a step back. It was better tonight. The block shots, again, the final book, the game book from the league lists Jabari with 4 block shots and not 5, as was mentioned during the end of the Rockets game tonight. So he just got credit for 4 block shots. So let's see here. 0.7 of a second left. Warriors up 1 over Phoenix. Y'all tell me what happens. I'm not going to turn it on here on my laptop. So this. Oh, so okay. So Steph made a 3 to win. Oh, Steph made a 3 in the closing moment to win the game. All right. What the hell? Wait a minute. What is this? Wiggins committed a foul. I hope they had a foul to give. I'm watching play-by-play. That's what I'm doing here. So tell me, Wiggins committed a foul because he had a foul to give, right? He's not committed a foul on a bad choice. So yeah, y'all, if y'all watching the game, switch to it. Let me know because the play-by-play says something kind of strange. Andrew Wiggins' personal foul with 0.1 to go. So are they reviewing that? What's going on there? Clearly, Cam is a better shooter than Russ from 3. Now, you can see in Cam's game as well, running transition like Russ. Cam does dunk ferociously like young Russ. Agreed. Justin, Steph doing Steph things. Wonder if he eventually wants to trade with the Rockets by not happening. Not happening. I'm not even sure the first part of that would happen. That Steph would ask for a trade. I think he just want to ride it out with the franchise in Golden State, in the Bay. So yeah, catch me up now, because what's going on in the game? Because the game is not over. Are they reviewing the foul, or what's going on in Warriors Sun? Because play-by-play still has 0.1 Andrew Wiggins personal foul. So I guess there was no foul because now the game's over. Well, that game is over. Steph with the 3-pointer. Warriors beat the Suns 113-112. That means the Suns are now 3 games ahead of the Rockets in the standings for that 10th spot. And I think with the win, the Rockets are now, not sure if Utah's playing tonight. So it was 2.5, 4 games in the loss column. So now Rockets are 4 games behind the Warriors in the loss column. That's even worse. So that playing spot. So the Warriors and Jazz are tied for the 10th spot. Utah has played, let's see, what is that? Wow. 4 more games in Golden State. So the win percentage is separated by 0.001. Damn, Warriors got a lot of games to play. They've only played 49 games. That's honest, Steven. I remember Russ made 9 threes in an All-Star game in 2015 and looked at him and thought he was a great shooter. But now everybody knows now once Russ makes a three early in the game, keep shooting, Russ. Keep shooting. Because more times than not, if he does, brick, brick. Jamon, we are going to be in the lotto this year, referring to the Rockets. But Jamon wants the Rockets to get to 40 wins, period. And if they get to 40 wins, then the season would be a success, even if they missed the play-in. Y'all agree with that? That's right. Thank you, Stephen. I forgot about that. You are correct. They got a lot of games to make up. Forgot about that. Yeah, my apologies. That the Warriors did not play a couple games because of the death of the assistant coach was by heart attack too. Tragedy, man. I can't even imagine. I don't even want to think about being there and watching it happen. Ooh, wow. So let's end on a high note, something more cheerful than that. All right. Rockets, Knicks. Your prediction. Oh, no. How many of y'all are football fans? Big game fans. How many of y'all going to watch the game tomorrow? How many of y'all are going have let's see, how can I phrase this? Some financial interest in the big game Sunday evening. Make your predictions. Just give me who you going to pick, who you picking to win the game tomorrow. I really don't care who wins. I just have some financial interest in the game. Jamon says 49ers will win. Solo says same. Justin says he's just watching the halftime, and after that, he's out. But yeah, I just have some financial interest in the game, and that's it. Steven says he wants Taylor Swift to cry. That means he's picking the Niners to win. Justin going even further with how the NFL used Taylor Swift all year to promote their game. He's just not interested. Anybody else feel that way? Solo with that line right there. I won't. Y'all see it on the screen. I'm not going to say it. Y'all see it on the screen. But okay. So we got a lot of folks wanting the Niners to win. Mike Wilk says Niners as well. So wrapping it up. Knicks, Rockets on Monday. What say y'all? Will the Rockets end their 4-game skid? Or will it grow to 5? So really? Well, I mean, prop bets or anything, man. Mo Beasley, how you doing? Thank you for chiming in. Jamon says Knicks win Monday for sure. Why are you so certain about that? Let me see. You know, their front court is kind of depleted. Talking about the Knicks. Of course, we're not sure which Rockets are going to be playing. You know, who'll be healthy and clear to play. But Knicks gave up 125 tonight to the Pacers. Final score is 125, 111. Brunson scored 39. I think that's right. 39. Yep. Goodness, Precious Achua got 43 minutes of action. Did pretty well. 15 points, 6 boards, 3 blocks, 2 steals. Well, this is the Knicks starting five tonight against the Pacers. Achua, Taj Gibson, Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, and Dante DiVincenzo. That's who the Knicks played tonight in that game against the Pacers. Then off the bench, that's starting five. Then start off the bench, Bojan Bogdanovic, Alec Burks, and Miles McBride. 8 guys. 8. So if that 8 plays the Rockets on Monday, y'all still picking the Knicks to win the game? Terry says you never know what version of the Rockets you're going to get. Yeah, no, he played. Yeah, let me look at it again. Yep, Jalen played 37 minutes, 39 points, 4 assists, 14 with 25 from the floor, 10 for 10 from the line. So if that, I'm kind of curious. If Brunson hot ankle holds up, Jamon says Knicks roster can shoot the ball. We can't. Terry says Knicks consistently play hard. Solo says Dante will cook us on Monday. I think Rocket fans feel this way, like Justin. I'm just not confident in the Rockets right now. Not like in the beginning of the season when the defense was top 5. Y'all agree with that? United says Knicks will win by 15 and 20 points. Mo Beasley says Knicks play defense. The old Knicks play defense. These Knicks, not so much. Bojan Bogdanovic and Alec Burks off the bench. They get buckets and give them up too. So they don't. Yep. No. Steven, Tibbs runs his players into the ground. Yes, he does. He sure does. Hasn't changed. All right, everyone. I got to give y'all a salute. Salute for your comments and your questions. Don't want to forget that. Again, wrapping it up. Thank you to Byron Riley, CPA. Go to his website, byronrileycpa.com. Call 832-303-3995. Once again, visit the website, byronrileycpa.com. Call 832-303-3995. Agree to sponsor the show 5 times in February, 5 more times in March. So if you want to fill in the rest of the games this season or the rest of the shows here on the Houston Roundball Review, email me, kgardner@thehrr.com. Once again, kgardner@thehrr.com. Rockets lost, battled, injuries, missed players didn't play. No Fred, no Al P, no Tari. Lost to the Hawks in Atlanta, 122-113. Jalen Green, first NBA triple-double. Jabari Smith, 4 blocks. Jalen had 14 rebounds for a career high. Turnovers bit him in the butt again. That second quarter bit him in the butt big time. Led by 12, 31-19 at the end of the first quarter. Outscored by 20, 38-18 in the second quarter. 6 for 22 in that second quarter. Hawks went 13 for 22 in the quarter. Rockets 13 for 43 from 3, including 2 for 13 from 3 in the fourth quarter. Everyone, I think I'm going to do the next show. I'm not even sure. Thursday? The Saturday stuff is slam dunk and stuff, and I'm going to be pretty much out of NBA mode once the All-Star break starts. But subscribe to the channel, subscribe to the Houston Roundball Review YouTube channel. Click on the bell so you can get those notifications of when new shows are posted. Yes, I provide more content besides the Rockets, Cougs stuff, men's and women's hoops. The AdMax Corner talks football and Texans. We'll have a show tomorrow after the big game, courtesy of my man A.D. Moore, who is in Vegas covering the big game. So thank you as always to Justin, Mo Beasy, Mike Will, Steven, United, Jamon, Terry. Terry, salute to you. Enjoy. Cheers. Click that shop button. Get you some Round Bar Review merch. Send me pictures of you with your new merch, with your Round Bar Review merch, wearing that cap, enjoying your beverage in that mug, all that good stuff. As always, I went over an hour talking to you guys. It's great talking Rockets hoops with you. I appreciate everybody spending time here on this Saturday night, or Terry in New Zealand and Sunday afternoon in New Zealand. Thank you very much for taking time to talk with me, a credentialed Rockets media person, not a fan of the Rockets. There is a difference. There are some folks who have credentials who are more fans than objective media people. Y'all know who that is. I am KG Kris Gardner, owner of the Houston Roundball Review. The Roundball Review been around since 1994. The Houston Roundball Review. Local name, global perspective.
Game over.
Peace.